Hello there. Welcome to another Oh So Curious Times DCU Daily. We have a ton for you today, not just in the world of DC, but we also have tons of movie reviews, tons of quick hits, tons of news, mainly weekend box office, but Pixar recently had their big Annecys conference, panel, whatever you call it, but they had that, which we're going to be talking about today, and we are going to have a wonderful time. We are going to have the absolute best time. I am here as your host, John. Nice to see all the regulars, but if you're new, hello, I'm John. So why don't I stop filibustering and get right into the show? Hello there. Welcome back. After that wonderful intro, I'm John. But I have another person here today that's not Dan, someone a little bit more interesting, a little bit better, a little bit Lizz. I tried to come up with something more and but I couldn't do it. Anyway, hi Lizz, how are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you, John? Today was a very productive day for me. I hope it was for you as well.
I saw a movie today that we were going to be talking about. But I mostly played video games today. I was a little bit productive. I got some of video stuff done, but it was one thing, so it wasn't,
Hey,
it's fine. It's fine.
Hey, you checked it off your list. It's all that
I
matters.
saw a wonderful movie. Which movie? Well, we gotta get into that a little bit later, but we are going to be starting off with a movie review today. To the people that can see Lizz's sign in the background, we are going to be talking about Ballerina first, but why don't we get into that wonderful Knuff intro that we love so much, that is burned into my brain until the end of time.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. Number two.
All right, Mr. I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding. You're kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne. I like that.
You're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What the
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Here we are. Back again. Here we are. Back again. Anyway, so as I said,
quick hits time.
Pre-intro, we are going to be getting into a movie review at the very, very top of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So very exciting. We are talking about not just Ballerina. No. We got to say the full title. From the world of John Wick, Ballerina. There we go. So, ladies first. Lizz, what were your thoughts on this wonderful little addition to the John Wick franchise?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It delivered just as expected for a John Wick franchise film. However, we talked about timeline in the past, and when Ana de Armas' character first meets John, it makes sense in the timeline of the John Wick universe. That was when he went to the Romarovska to say, hey, I'm done. I'm out. I need you to get me over to Casablanca, I think is where he ended up going in John Wick 3. But then he resurfaces, as we've seen in the trailer. Then he gets called back. And that really didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because I was like, he's supposed to be in a desert right now, like shooting shit up with Halle Berry. So aside from that,
I think I
really liked it.
That, but I'll let you
okay, that's wonderful. Really nice to see Lance Reddick in his last role. I'm glad that we got to, kind of properly, I don't know about properly, but at least see him once more in this franchise that he was such a big part of. It had a lot of action. Story was okay. These different gangs, factions, cults in this case, it's kind of interesting to me that they just seem to be everywhere in this universe. And I don't know. Norman Reedus' part was okay. It was cool to see him. Interesting. But yeah, is it my favorite of the John Wick films? Of course not. But I think it's cool.
Can't recognize him without a crossbow, though.
Right? But I think it's a cool addition. I think, again, they did a good job with the action. There were a couple times that she fell, she was thrown down a flight of stairs, and I was like, oh, where have I seen that before? But overall, I thought it was good. It was an interesting storyline, and seeing how it all fit in within the well-known world of John Wick that we're familiar with. So I enjoyed it, and I do hope that they make more of them so that we can have a continuation.
Oh, you're getting more.
I'm sure.
I don't know if we're going to keep getting Ballerina movies, but we're getting more John Wick. I'll tell you that. But yeah, in terms of my thoughts, I think it's one of the weaker ones. There hasn't been a fully terrible John Wick movie. I think the weakest is probably Chapter 2. That one I just felt was the most unmemorable and not as interesting. However, in terms of timeline stuff, the thing I do remember from Chapter 2 was that's the scene that took place when Ana de Armas first meets John Wick. That was in Chapter 2, not Chapter 3. Okay. It was when he gets, branded and he gets excommunicado from the school and all that. That was, I believe, in Chapter 2. And then when it's 2 months later, obviously Chapter 2 happens, excommunicado from the Continental, and then stuff happens, and then now it's after the Parabellum, but before the events of Chapter 4. So I'm going to correct you,
because Chapter 3 was the one with Halle Berry, and that's the one where he has to, he punches the ticket. So it was Chapter 3 when
But yeah, so that's essentially the timeline. At least that's what I was led to believe. But overall, I thought this was a very good movie. I was entertained by it. That's the basic gist of John Wick movies. Are you entertained? Well, contrary to Russell Crowe, are you entertained? Yes, I am entertained. And that's all we can really ask for this. What I liked about this film is that the ballerina herself, Ana de Armas, didn't feel like a Mary Sue. She didn't feel like she was capable of everything. She got thrown down a lot. She got punched and kicked and cut a lot. So I really appreciated that. It felt more relatable and more interesting. And I liked how she had a different style to it all than John Wick. Because John Wick is obviously way more professional, has a lot more years on him, is older. Great stuff. So as you said, the storytelling, not very special. Simple revenge plot. You killed my father, prepare to die. All right, cool. Great to see Gabriel Byrne. Excellent actor. I feel like I haven't seen him in 20 years, but
I felt the same way.
Good for him. But I think that was great to see. I think for most of the movie, the action was great. Very colorful, very intriguing. Not intriguing, but very I was my eyes were open and I was, wanted to watch, unlike Chapter 4 where I was falling asleep half the time. But I think Ballerina is overall a good movie. However, the problems I had is that by the third act, it felt very tired and repetitive. And I mentioned this in my review on the Cool Kids Movie Review channel. If you want to, check out that review, then by all means. I feel like we're reaching the very, 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 very beginning of John Wick fatigue. Not specifically this franchise, but this style of action. Because Everyone is doing John Wick like action. I mean, David Leitch he co-directed the first one, so he's doing that a bunch. We have stuff like other productions under 87 North, which is Chad Stileski's production company. So you have that, and then you have a lot of copycats that are coming up. And it's good for a while, but now I can only take so much of that like fast-paced, like mano-a-mano, hand-to-hand combat type action.
Invincible, doesn't feel pain, can fight
like Monkey Man was another one.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying these are bad movies. As I said, we're at the very, 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 very beginning of it, because it's like I'm kind of starting to feel that a little bit, but I'm nowhere even close to sick of it. But in this movie, I was like, all right, this is getting a little bit repetitive. Can we kind of speed this up a little bit?
Yeah.
I felt Keanu Reeves' cameo was extremely pointless. Even Chad Stileski said that he didn't really want him in the movie. However, and he said this after I said this in my review, I'm like, I am willing to bet you that they didn't want to put Keanu Reeves in this movie, and then they did, and that's exactly what happened. He's like, and what I said in my review was they wanted to test the waters, because the only other spin-off that has been attributed to this franchise was the very terrible, from what I've heard, miniseries The Continental, which pretty much we talked about that on the show, how they pretty much just didn't like listen to Keanu Reeves and Chad Stileski and like just did their own thing, and guess what, it sucked. So they kind of wanted to like, okay, clearly this story can stay afloat, but in case it doesn't, here's John Wick Keanu Reeves, guys, see? But unfortunately, it resulted in a very shoehorned cameo, and honestly, the weakest action scene in the whole movie between the two of them. I liked it a little bit, where how you can clearly tell Keanu Reeves, John Wick, is like toying with her, toying with Eve, because like he's clearly way more experienced and obviously doesn't totally want to kill her.
Just doesn't want to kill her, right?
And just wants to incapacitate her. And then he just and then they pull a "you're letting him kill Martha" moment, where she's like, "But I want to kill the guy who killed my father," and John Wick's like, "All right, fine, okay, I get it.
I get it.
I did all of this because of the dog."
Said that. I think he said, "I get it." I completely agree. I feel like it was kind of a waste having him come. Like again, it made sense in the timeline sequence when he comes back to Rosca Roma, but then having him appear again to essentially help her out in completing her mission. It felt like they were just pandering to audiences. It was they were taking a chance, and they said, oh, we kind of hedged our bets, and so we need Keanu to come back just to get butts in seats. And it's like, well, we already knew that he was a part of it, and I feel like they didn't need all of that extra stuff. But and I did kind of feel that in the theater, thinking to myself, like, darn, like, here's Ana de Armas, she's done all this work, she's really doing a good job in the role, and it almost feels like they don't have faith in her. So it's like they won't let it be like a standalone film for her.
Yeah, and you could tell that they were reshoots.
So,
but I personally don't think it's Furiosa syndrome, because this was a way fucking better movie than Furiosa. But that's just me. I think this is, again, it's not a bad movie. Again, there hasn't been a bad John Wick movie. I think, for me personally, my favorites are the first one and the third one. The fourth one is really good, but I think kind of overrated. And then the second one, I feel like is kind of forgotten. Like nobody really talks about it all that much.
I actually really liked the second one. I liked it because it was a continuance of this when again I was out and now he's back and blah blah blah. So I didn't have a problem with the second one at all. The fourth one, it was too long. That was my problem with it. It was one of those where I left the theater and I was like, whew, could have ended 15, 20, 30 minutes earlier. But, other than that, I'm still a stan for John Wick. I can't help myself.
Yeah, I mean, I like this franchise. I mean, we're getting like shows and like an animated prequel. We're getting John Wick 5. Chad Stileski said if we can make it work, then we'll do it.
Prequel.
If we can't, then and then we have, like, we were talking about this, like from the world of John Wick, High Table, Bowery King, this, that, and the other thing. However, this kind of didn't make a ton of money at the box office. We were talking about that the other day, how it is a mid-budget movie, and mid-budget movies are essentially box office poison nowadays because they never make a profit. Because you need a multi-million-dollar franchise that's like Marvel and DC, or you need something that's like super cheap indie movie that'll be like $1 million to $10 million.
Yeah. Well, and I also thought it was really interesting too how, like, okay, it's one thing to distance yourself from John Wick and try to make this a standalone film, but like they didn't use a lot of the references that we're used to now. So like, yeah, they had the Continental, they had the gold coin, they had the Romarovska, you know, but they didn't talk about the High Table. They didn't use that phrase that they use about being of service. I have served, I will be of service. So it was interesting to me that like they were there. It was like almost John Wick adjacent. When I was like, it's all still in the same world. So, you know, oh well. But I just hope when they make the next one that they kind of clean it up a little bit more and be a little more thoughtful about how the two are supposed to connect.
Yes. But overall, I think this was a pretty good movie. I don't think it's the best that this franchise had to offer, but it's still not bad, not even close to being bad. For me, Chapter 2 is probably my least favorite, but that's like a solid like 7 out of 10. Like, yeah, I would recommend this. I would give this like a 7.5 maybe.
If you like these kinds of films, there's no reason why you won't be entertained with this one.
And Ana de Armas is great, and I will say something I found to be kind of funny. No, please don't take this the wrong way, because I love Keanu Reeves with all my heart. He is our wholesome, badass boy, and we will stand him until the end. However, it was kind of funny to see them talking to each other during that fight scene, because you have Ana de Armas, who is a very, 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 very good actress, and then you have Keanu Reeves, who isn't a good actor. So it's like having her like have like all this passion and all these like interesting mannerisms, this cadence about like losing her father and all this stuff, and then Keanu Reeves is just like, yeah, I understand. Like, again, I love Keanu Reeves, but the thing is, the man has never been praised for his acting ability.
It doesn't matter what the role is. He doesn't change his cadence. He doesn't change his tone. He doesn't change his. I mean, there's no projection. There's really no like. Even when he screams, it sounds pretty much like of the same volume level as when he's talking. So yeah, I get what you mean.
But don't take this as I hate Keanu Reeves.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We adore that man.
It's he
can keep leaving the house. He can leave the house anytime he wants. We love you. We love you, Keanu.
We love it. So yeah, recommend. I would give it like a 7 out of 10. Good movie. If you like John Wick, you'll like this movie.
Yeah. And see it for Lance, if anything.
Yes. So yeah. Moving on to the next thing. Next up, we are talking about, I believe, the Annecys, the Pixar panel conference. I don't really know what it's called.
It's an animated festival, apparently. It's a festival all about animated projects, upcoming things. So yeah, so like you said, we got a preview apparently of Toy Story 5, which is going to be about toys versus tech, how the toys adapt to the new world of, you know, iPads and screens and you know, 30-second reels and things of that nature. And then another film called Gatto, which I believe kind of takes place in the same city or city adjacent of the film Luca, so it's going to kind of have the same like feel to it. It takes place in an Italian town.
I see a black cat. I see kind of different animation. All I'm thinking of is Flow right now. So I'm kind of getting like, oh hey, this did really well. Let's try to do that.
Yeah, are we going to get black cat syndrome soon? Like,
I mean,
there are other animals out there.
I mean, I feel like black cats deserve. I'm not a cat guy, but like black cats deserve their love, because like for so long they're like superstitious. If a black cat like walks past you, then
I had 3 growing up, so like I got no issues.
Like, but there is. I don't know if this is like an actual statistic thing. Just like quick side note is like I don't know if this is like an actual statistic, but it's more likely that like black cats get like not adopted, they get
Yes.
killed on the
Yeah.
street, blah blah
Because it's
blah.
a
But
superstition. It's very
the
taboo.
superstition of it.
They're supposedly bad luck. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All that. But
So
I've had nothing
hopefully
but
stuff
wonderful black
like
cats in my life.
yeah. So hopefully stuff like Flo and Gato can like get rid of that superstitious BS that was around for so long. But this, it looks like Gato looks
Looks
like
really
a
cute.
kind of interesting movie. Like I don't know if I'll see it. Like I've been kind of dodgy on Pixar, but I have no interest in Elio, and we'll be talking about that later.
I'll be seeing Elio. I think that looks
Um,
so fun. I'm really excited for that.
so I mean, I'll stick with Incredibles. I'll stick with I'll watch Zootopia 2. But I'm kind of just like, only
Yeah.
if it interests me. And Elio
And
is just,
and they did kind of give a sneak peek of Zootopia 2 at the
yes,
Annecys as well. So we're getting a lot of cool stuff coming out. I'm very excited.
yes. But yeah, I think you know, Zootopia 2, we're getting a little bit more of that. Unfortunately, we're getting more of Toy Story 5. Ew, gross.
I know. I don't know how they yeah. How
Guys,
like
you can
Woody and
say
Buzz
no. You
separated.
have
Like
you have
how are you
more
gonna
money.
possibly make this work?
You
It's
have
weird.
more money than the domestic net worth of like third world countries. You don't need to do another one of these. We
Yeah.
love playing the character. Okay, great. I also love,
Well, then
food
have
doesn't
like
mean
a
I should eat
spin-off
all of
TV
it.
show like a lot of films are doing. There are other ways you can revisit these characters and stuff, but I don't know. I'll see it, but I'm over it. I'm pretty over it, you
Yeah,
know.
and it does have an interesting idea, like the like destroying
I'd be
iPad
cool with that
kids,
being
which is
part of it.
great because
Ratatouille
fuck
2 would be
iPad
cool.
kids, fuck them
Yeah.
kids. But I think
Agreed, enterprising.
I don't know. I just think yeah, I would say Gato is more interesting because it sounds like kind of like an intriguing idea. This has like a interesting theme. It's not enough for me to go and watch the movie at all, but it's the idea of like, technology taking over, nobody's playing with toys, blah 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 blah, which is an interesting like theme to have, a good ideal concept to adhere to.
Yeah.
So I think Dan accidentally knocked off. So we will add that. But yeah, I think I think we're gonna be getting some interesting things. It's unfortunately mostly sequels now, but I think at this point, I think we are, you know, I like if it works, it works. It's kind of like that. It's
Yeah.
if it works, it works.
Well,
I'm
again,
still
I think I talked about this on the
yes,
show
it did.
last week or the week before. John Favreau was talking about how
Fair.
the reason we keep going back to the same well is because they know it's works and people are
Yes.
going back to what's familiar because now we're overwhelmed with content. So nobody wants to take a shot at anything new. Nobody wants to give up their free time to possibly like something. Like no one wants to take a chance anymore. So now it's one of those like we're going back to all of our comfort films. We're going back to the things that we know that we love, that we know will make us happy. Like again, I was so excited to see Lilo and Stitch, and I'm glad that I did. I came home from my trip with to see it with my nephews, and I watched the first film on my own. Again, I told you guys I don't watch movies at home. I watched it on Disney Plus. I was just it just put me in such a nice mood in the feels, and I'm gonna feel this way about Toy Story 5, even though I'm over it. So I get it. We're now we have jumped the shark completely. We've been so oversaturated and so inundated with content that now we're just like, I want to go back to what I know works. And these studios get it, and that's what they're doing. So
Yeah.
what
Which
it
is
is.
a shame, but like,
It's a
that's
shame, but they're gonna be successful in it the entire time. So
yeah.
they are providing people with what they want. So
Yeah, next up from the whole Annecy thing, uh festival. But it got we are getting apparently a CG animated film based on Paul McCartney's book of the same name, which is going to feature many famous singers. And this sounds pretty awesome. I mean, Sir Paul is always, you know Kino. Like, I mean, that's
Yeah.
great. I'm so glad that we didn't get that god awful Yellow Submarine movie. Because I saw the animation tests for that and they were bad.
I mean, yeah, but no, but High in the Clouds is cool. It's a cool theme to it. It's not something that I've ever expected Paul McCartney to come out with, but he is a creative genius, so
Yeah,
very cool. And I
I
think
still
it's
want your
great
Silver
that
Surfer movie, rock opera, Sir Paul. So you know what? But yeah, Lionel Richie, you got a little bit of a Beatles reunion. You got Lionel Richie, Celine Dion. Yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. I will, you know, I'll definitely be checking this one out if
yeah, for sure.
whatever. I hope it's not like one of these things where it's like, oh, Paul McCartney, da, 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 and then it's like this underground indie thing that doesn't appear at my theater. So it's like, guys,
We'll see. They've got some good
deliver.
people behind it, so we'll see what
It's like
happens.
where I was inundated with previews for Freaky Tales, and they're like, and we had a poster at my theater, and they're like, "Oh, we're not
Yeah,
doing this." It's like
for a week, yeah.
for like
Yeah.
lame,
Which, by the
but
way, gang, please watch Freaky Tales. I loved that movie. I really enjoyed it. And there's an
but
amazing cameo in it. I refuse to spoil, but check it out.
going
Amazing.
from Pixar to Sir Paul to now Leica, the based Leica, we are getting a little bit more Paranorman content, which is fabulous because that is easily Leica's best film. I don't care what anybody says, but don't get me wrong, Coraline is great, Box Trolls is great, Missing Link is great. All of them very good films. Kubo and the Two Strings, beautiful. So yeah, I think this is awesome. Paranorman is my favorite animated movie of all time. So getting a little bit more from that, and I will definitely be seeing this when it gets re-released for Halloween because I absolutely adore this movie so much. So yeah, I would say if we're getting a little bit more content, I know we're like never getting a sequel, which it doesn't need a sequel. I'm not saying it needs a sequel, doesn't need a sequel, but it's nice to see that we're getting a little bit more of that content because this is a very special movie to me. It's my favorite, one of my favorite animated, one of my favorites of all time. So yeah, I think this is a great film that is remembered. I know a certain someone would say it's not remembered, but it is remembered. It is a cult classic. I don't care what anybody says. Beautiful, wonderful movie. Also, hello, Monique. Um, but yeah, I think this is really awesome,
Yeah.
and I love it so very much. Wonderful. Love Paranormal. But we're going from one thing to another. Now we're going to talk about the most exciting thing, guys. The weekend box office.
Ooh, baby.
So, of course, to the shock of no one, How to Train Your Dragon's making money, guys. Wow. Couldn't have told you that. But yeah, according to this, How to Train Your Dragon is apparently flying high to the franchise best, opening with $82 million, and the Hitch for Women / love triangle movie, The Materialist, is eyeing a nice,
Yeah.
modest 12 million. What are your thoughts on this, Liz? Is
I'll be
this
seeing both of them. I've been on the fence about Materialist just because it's weird seeing Chris Evans in a film like this. Um and also I still don't know if I like Dakota Johnson. I can't decide with her. But a friend of mine just saw it and he said it was incredible. He loved it. He thought the story was wonderful, the writing was great. So now I'm looking forward to it. And of course, I'm absolutely seeing How to Train Your Dragon. I can't wait for that one, even though everybody's wigs and hair pieces look absolutely ridiculous, like fake as fuck. But I'm going and I'm probably going to have a great time. So I can't wait.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have a ton of interest in the Materialists. I don't have a ton of interest in How to Train Your Dragon either. But it's not surprising that this gets absolutely, adored. Hopefully it's better than both Snow White and Lilo and Stitch, according to the main populace.
No way. Lilo and Stitch was so good.
I mean, a lot of people didn't like it
I don't
though,
know.
so
Well, they're stupid. They're real
okay.
dumb. Like real dumb. Lilo and Stitch
But
was
yeah,
great.
I just know that in terms of Mason Thames movies that's coming out in 2025, I will wait for the Black Phone too. But yeah, I'm glad people are enjoying it. I've heard a couple people say it's fine, not the greatest thing ever, but it's still a pretty good live action remake. Yeah, congrats to How to Train Your Dragon. We all saw this coming from a million miles
Yeah,
away.
surprising no one. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but I'm glad that, like, even though I'm not interested in something like Materialist, it's nice that they got over half their budget in their opening weekend.
Yeah.
So that's nice to
Yeah.
see. Like, I joke like, oh, it's Hitch for women, da, da, da. But like, it's a more original movie than like a literal remake. So I'm like, it's nice that that's getting a little bit of cashish. So no, I mean, I was saying it from a quality of film standpoint, not a money standpoint. Lilo and Stitch is gonna make the most money out of the three of those, like, by far. Like,
I
not.
mean, yeah, it's still making.
I'm pretty
money,
sure
yeah.
it's hit a billion by now. So it's like like that's come on. But I think How to Train Your Dragon is definitely gonna be up there. It's definitely gonna make more money than Snow White. But yeah, I mean, we know that. I mean, I was initially like, I mean, they're Vikings. Like, why not have someone that looks like a Viking? But it's like, at the same time, it has fucking dragons in it. It's like, all right, I'm not gonna lose my. It's like my blood pressure is already probably through the roof. So it's like, why add to it? Like, I just want to chillax. I just want to have a good time. I'm just trying not to get uppity over stupid shit that's not gonna matter in the long run. So it's like,
That's
whatever.
fair.
If people enjoy
And-
it, then no
And
skin off
I'm
my
just looking
nose.
it up. So as of right now, the Lilo and Stitch live action is at 800 million. So we're almost at a bill.
You almost said
Almost
800
there.
billion.
I almost did. Almost at a bill. We're right
But
on
not
the
a
board.
billy yet, but it's close, and I guarantee we're gonna get there. We'll see if it passes Minecraft movie, though. I'm very curious about that.
That's a good point.
But I think yeah. But Nico, I'm sure Nico Parker is perfectly fine in the film. But yeah, it's like don't pay any mind to the whole Vikings. Yeah, whatever, it's fine. I understand that, but
We're not
but
trying
be
to
fair,
like actually do anything historically accurate. Have you heard the Burger King spots for How to Train Your Dragon? Have you heard that god awful fake ass Scottish accent in that commercial? We're not going for authenticity here, babe.
No.
If that's what you're looking for in How to Train Your Dragon,
But
you're
I mean, to
missing
be
something.
fair, it is hard because Vikings did not keep good historical records. So from what little we know, it's all kind of mostly guesstimation. Not guesstimation, but like it's mostly like we can't get a good eye of what it was like as much as
Yeah, but to your
other
point, that's the
people.
Vikings' fault. So
Yeah.
you get what you get. You don't get upset.
Yeah. So, which is a shame because Vikings are fucking cool.
Yeah, they're all right.
But don't knock the Vikings. Come on, we
I'm
got the
not a
Northmen
fan of
out
raping
it.
and pillaging personally, so
I mean, I don't know if they raped a
also
lot, but
they came to North America first, and we're
yeah,
like,
Leif
there's
Erikson.
fuck all here, so they left. Like imagine how different our world would it be if they had actually like settled here. So
That
there's
would be
that
awesome.
too.
I
So I
would still
kind of
have this
blame
cool
the
beard,
Vikings
though.
actually for the reason shit is the way it is today. If you look at it like that.
Fun fact, they had women had equal footing to men in that society, so they were progressive first, guys. I'm just saying.
But didn't stop the raping and pillaging. So
I mean, it was a different time. But anyway, so now we're gonna get into the quick hits. So we will hit that music, that wonderful music that Liz loves. First things first, our one of our favorite Texan boys, or not, but apparently he has reunited with True Detective creator Nick. I'm not going to pronounce that on feature adaptation of a Mike Hammer book series at Skydance. Thoughts on this? Did you ever watch the first season or any of True Detective? And
I want to. It's on the list, as are so many other things.
That's like 5 years long.
Yeah, the Infinity List. I know nothing of Mike Hammer, but hey, cool. I'm glad that they're working together. If they like each other and they enjoyed working together the first time around, good for them. Hi, Steven. Thank you so much. So yeah, cool.
Way to go. Awesome. About goddamn time. Gary Oldman, one of the greatest actors in contemporary cinema, has finally been knighted,
Recognized.
and Samantha Morton and Anjoa Ando, among others, that are honored.
And
What are
David
your
Beckham.
thoughts on this? Okay.
I'm very happy for everyone. It was over 1,000 people that received some type of, I don't know what you call it. They weren't all knighted. They weren't all, but they all did get some type of acknowledgement from the royal family, from their country. So very cool. Congrats to everybody.
Yeah, way to go, Gary Oldman, Sir Gary Oldman.
Sir, that's Sir Gary Oldman to you.
Oh, yes, Sir Gary. I love saying that. I love saying Sir Roger Deakins. I love saying Sir Christopher Nolan. Love it, and appreciate it. So we're happy you're back, Steven. So yeah, awesome, Gary Oldman, and awesome to Morton, Ando, and Beckham, I guess. But yeah, awesome, great. Apparently, the Traitors season 4 cast includes Donna Kelsey, Dorinda Medley, Lisa Rinna, and more.
I really need to start watching this show. I'm so excited about this. First of all, we know for a fact they're gonna make Donna Kelsey a traitor. Like, come on now, because no one would see it coming, which means they're absolutely gonna do it. So I feel like, I don't know the show. I haven't watched the show yet. The show's been on my list for quite some time. I'm going to immediately start watching it so I can catch up, so I can watch this. I can't wait. So excited. Hooray.
Hell yeah. So yeah,
I'm with her, Dan. I'm with her.
I have
Well,
no
who else is in
fucking
here? Hold
idea
on.
what this is.
Mark
so...
Ballas from Michael Rappaport. There are quite a number of big names in this season, and as there have been in previous seasons as well. So I just cannot wait. And I love Donna Kelsey, so it's going to be interesting. And the internet's going to be mean to her, and I don't like that. And probably these stupid celebrities are going to be mean to her too, and I don't like that either. But I'm excited for Donna Kelsey to get out there. And you know what, girl? Make that bag. Bring that check home, honey. I appreciate you. Can't wait.
Cool. I have no fucking clue what the hell this is, so I'm glad you're happy, Liz.
It's a really cool show hosted by Alan Cumming, and it always wins Emmys. It's been killing it ever since the first season came out. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about the show, so I'm starting it. I'm starting it this week, you guys. I can't wait.
Cool. Great. Awesome. Anyway, let's move on. Motion Picture Sound Editor's first Hollywood group to say no to awards for AI movies. The MPSE won't allow generative artificial intelligence content at the Golden Reel Awards for at least 1 year.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this?
Why should robots win awards? For what? What? Why are we giving robots awards? So no, I agree wholeheartedly with these people. Good for them for standing their ground and saying, fucking no. So, I mean, you get awards for being original, for being creative, for showcasing your talents, for blowing people's minds, for changing the game, for creating new technologies. You don't get an award for being that technology. So no, good for them.
So yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. Next up, Take-Two Interactive, NBA Inc. expansive deal on entertainment, gaming, live events, and more. Okay.
My thoughts are the same as yours, John.
Okay. Dan, we don't give a fuck about this. Can we move on?
Yep. Bye.
But speaking of things I actually care about, apparently Reacher has, we are getting some cast additions for the upcoming season of Reacher. Apparently our boy, Jay Baruchel, however you fucking pronounce it, that's the only name I know. So, awesome, great. I hope he's the villain. I hope he's the main villain.
Wasn't he the How to Train Your Dragon dude?
Yeah.
There you are.
He's Hiccup. And he was almost Maxwell Lord in Justice League Mortal. So he was almost the villain in that movie, and that would have been amazing to see. And also, we have all these other people. I recognize the guy on the bottom right. I don't know his name.
You should recognize all 4 of the people on the bottom. They are big time, what do you call it? Supporting actors and actresses. So
yes.
Cool. I'm very excited about
Jay Baruchel, Seidel Noel, Agnes Mo, Kevin Weissman, Mark
Angus.
Blucas, Kevin Corrigan,
Agnes.
and Kathleen
It's
Robertson.
Agnes Mo. Agnes Mo.
So I
and
only
Gunn.
know Jay Baruchel, and I recognize the guy on the bottom right, but yeah, way to go! I'm happy for Reacher season. I'm excited for Reacher season 4. I'm happy for it. So yeah, awesome, great,
Yeah.
love to see it. Jack Hudson, I don't know who this guy is. He has a very interesting face. To star in comic book
Irish,
adaptation, The Devil's Train. Sounds
Ooh.
cool. Would you
Yep.
watch this maybe based on title alone?
I read a little bit about it. It sounds interesting. It's about a guy that can time travel, and when he goes back in time, he's a cowboy or something. So yeah, it sounds cool enough. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Add it to the list. That's all I got to do,
Yeah.
Hey,
Then
Hugo.
we have beautiful Toxic Avenger to get UK premiere as closing night of Edinburgh Films Festival's Midnight Strand. Awesome, great, happy for UK. They're getting a little taste of the true greatest superhero film that will happen this year. But yeah, I mean, I can't wait for. I know it's silly, but I can't wait for Toxic Avenger. It's gonna be amazing and wonderful and goated. I can't wait for Peter Dinklage to show the greatness of Toxie. So this is just great. I love this so much, and I'm glad UK is also getting that, but especially when at first we weren't sure if we were actually getting this movie at all. So awesome, great. I'm stoked for it. So yeah, absolutely love it. Moving on though.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dad TV, NBA playoffs, The Last of Us, and Bluey. Nielsen data shows that fathers spend a lot of time watching kids programming. Yeah, I would hope so. Like, I mean, being around their kids and being like with them, watching their shows. Yeah, that's
And how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, would hope so.
I bet your moms watch a lot of kid shows too.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of playoffs. But yeah, okay. Hello, Lizz, twice. But yeah, cool, great. Love to see it. Yeah, cool.
Dad's watching a lot of sports. Not news.
But that's it for the quick hits. Oh my God, guys! I know, sad days, but I mean, that's what I've heard, but that's not for me. I don't have kids.
Oh yeah,
so.
their storytelling.
But I've heard
incredible.
But yeah, but thank you for watching, guys. Let's pump those likes up with the thumbs. Get those thumbs ups and get those comments rolling in. We love seeing your comments, although not really, showcasing what we're talking about at hand. A lot of DC stuff. Don't worry, we're getting into the DC stuff soon. We got to do movie reviews first, but also hello. But firstly, talking about Dan's favorite filmmaker of all time, Wes Anderson. Absolutely adores him, loves him. Definitely not doing this over and again. So yeah, Dan loves him. No, Dan doesn't want to admit it, but he's a secret huge Wes Anderson fan, and he actually told me behind closed doors he hates Man of Steel. So yeah,
Dan is a closeted fan of whimsy, and
yes.
You saw him in his studio, but his bedroom secretly looks like that of a 3-year-old ballerina from the 1980s. It's just lace and pastel colors, and just everything's soft.
We know you're in the closet, Dan. It's okay.
And comforting. Not even the closet. He's just a fan of whimsy.
Anyway,
and all of us Wes Anderson fans are. So
show us that amazing poster for the wonderful Phoenician scheme, the latest of Wes Anderson's very interesting repertoire, but I have not seen the movie. I cannot judge, so I will leave this to Lizz because she is the ultimate Wes Anderson fan in this wonderful little show we have. So take it away, Liz. Thoughts on the Phoenician?
I wouldn't go overboard and say I'm the ultimate. There are plenty of his films that I have not seen, unfortunately, but one of these days I'll get to him. And I don't like all of his films, I'll be perfectly honest with you. There are some that do not make my top 10. But the Phoenician Scheme, you guys saw it in the trailer. It's got a crackerjack cast, as most of his films do, but he's added some new people to his roster, folks that we haven't seen in his films previously, like Michael Cera, Mia Thruppleton, which I can never pronounce, and then people that we've seen before, you know, Benicio del Toro, to name a few. But this movie was really interesting. I'm going to say right off the bat, it's not my favorite Wes Anderson. It was very fast paced. And again, as you can tell by the trailer, Benicio del Toro is all over the place. His character has constantly got something going on. He's one of those tycoon type figures where his mind is always at work. It's called the Phoenician Scheme. He's always scheming and thinking about his next scheme and how to get one over on the next guy. But it's a series of events that lead to ultimately trying to fund this scheme, his plan for the Phoenician. But I really enjoyed it. As typical in Wes Anderson fashion, the humor was dry. Everything was brightly colored. The sets were perfect. They were simplistic, but they gave you exactly what you were looking for. I mean, they were as simplistic as they were overwhelming, if I can make that make sense. But if you're a fan of Wes Anderson films like I am, I highly recommend it. Again, it wasn't my particularly favorite one of all time, but I had a good time with it. You've got Tom Hanks. You've got Riz. What is Riz's last name? I apologize that I'm blanking on things. You've got Willem Dafoe as who we're used to. It was just stacked. It was just stacked. We had everybody in there. Benedict Cumberbatch was in it. And I'm trying to find the cast here, but of course they're not giving me the full list. But again, if you're a fan of Wes Anderson films, I highly recommend this one. It was a lot of fun. Bill Murray does actually make an appearance. I don't think we saw that in the trailer. And a lot of people were feeling like this is the first one that Bill Murray is not a part of. No, of course he was in it. I think he plays God, actually. That was his role. But anyway, if you guys like Wes Anderson, obviously Dan won't be seeing it. He's missing out. But I had a good time with it. And just like Ballerina, I would probably give it a 7 out of 10, maybe 7.5. Because again, very creative, a lot of fun, a lot of moving parts, but just not one that blew me away as some of his other films have. So yeah, so you can see right there, not the kind of ratings that you'd be hoping for in a Wes Anderson film, but still did pretty good. That's it. That's all I've got. Anyone else?
Very nice. Very nice. Sorry about that. Oh.
No, you're fine.
But thanks for watching our little review. Well, Liz's review of the Phoenician Scheme. But that is not going to be the last movie review we have. We do have one more that I saw, so I will be taking care of that. But thank you for watching this one. But we move on to the Life of Chuck. Life of Chuck. It is the newest Stephen King adaptation this year, and from Mike Flanagan. Earlier we had The Monkey from Oz Perkins, another film that I liked a lot. And now we have the wonderful Life of Chuck. Very different from The Monkey, and very different from the upcoming The Long Walk, which is going to be helmed by Francis Lawrence. Now, this is based on a series of short stories. Well, they were separated, but they were part of the same collection. There were 3 short stories, 3 acts in this movie, and it was about the life of Chuck. But this is a very much a departure from of Mike Flanagan's other work. He's mostly done horror. Very rarely has he done a drama of anything like this. Maybe his earlier films, like before he hit it big with Absentia. But I think but this is another home run for me personally. I think this is a great film of his. I would say this is probably top 5 for me personally. I thought the acting from everyone involved was wonderful. I thought it was a very thought-provoking movie. It's not the deepest movie ever made, but it's one of those movies that stays with you after you watch it. It's a very, very interesting sort of film. It's kind of hard to talk about because, like, I almost don't want to spoil it. I know it's a spoiler review. I almost don't want to spoil it because I feel like you have to go in as blind as you can, because it's a much better experience for me personally, and I believe for everyone personally. But it is told in a backwards linear narrative, which is it starts with the end and then it goes back to the beginning. It is a very philosophical movie because, I mean, as I've joked before, but also seriously stated, that Mike Flanagan is in his philosophical phase, I think ever since Midnight Mass, maybe even a little bit before that, where he's heavy on monologues and heavy on like philosophical debate, and that is showcased very much in this movie. Has like an all-star cast. You have Tom Hiddleston, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Karen Gillan, David Dastmalchian, Matthew Lillard, Rahul Kohli, just like tons and Nick Offerman, Annalise Bass. So like just so many people that he's worked with before, but also who he has never worked with before and is working with for the first time. Jacob Tremblay was another one. I think the standout was the kid who played the youngest version of Chuck. I thought he did a wonderful, wonderful job. And I do believe that, I thought he was tremendous. The third act, which is what it starts with, is, again, it's very dystopian in a lot of ways. It's very apocalyptic. But what I gathered from it, now it's possible that somebody has gathered something totally different. Kind of in a way. In the trailers, it says that it's like this generation's wonderful life. I can kind of see that. I think that's a little bit much because, but because it does have those darker aspects, but having it be, going backwards. It's like the idea of like going back to when times were better, to our youth, but it also gives us the idea of like maybe not everything was better in our youth, but it's like, how do we overcome those odds? And this is a very human movie. This is a movie about life, and the biggest thing that the biggest certainty of all life is death. And that is what it's the death of people, of the death of the universe, the death of what we know. But yes, that is also more people. Carl Lumley is another. Mia Sara, who I haven't seen in a hot second. But Mark Hamill, I can't believe I almost forgot Mark Hamill. But it's a very, it also has a lot of like cosmic occurrences throughout the movie. Yeah, I mean, he's on a park bench, so of course that makes sense. But it's one of those movies that stays with you, and it's like, it's after you come out of the movie, the world just seems a little bit brighter, the grass is a little greener, the sky is a little bluer, but it showcases the parts of life to take advantage of, to the people that we surround ourselves with. I mean, even though I don't think it's exactly like this generation's It's a Wonderful Life, it does have the idea of the message, the main message of It's a Wonderful Life, that no man is a failure that has friends. And I think that the idea of just this man living his life to the fullest in the ways that he can was great. I think it also showcases the idea of it reminds me of a Gabriel Iglesias quote where he's like, it's not about how many years there are, it's how good the years were. There's an ongoing thing, mainly in the third act of the movie. Well, act 3, the beginning of the movie, there's an ongoing thing that is said many times, and it shows and it showcases like, oh, it was these great years. And I think that was, I know I'm kind of not making a lot of sense right now. It's just like, it's just kind of hard to talk about because I feel like I need like a full day to like really like get my thoughts down, because I didn't really properly get my thoughts down. So this is, no, it's not like Benjamin Button or Jack. It's just like, it's just told in a non-linear narrative. It's a backwards linear narrative. It starts at the end, and then it starts with the end of Chuck, then it's the adult life of Chuck, and then it's the childhood of Chuck. So it's like, if he lives a normal life, it's just like, it's backwards. Like it's just told backwards. But this is one of those movies that it's not my favorite of the year. I think it does have a little bit too much of an over-reliance on narration, and I think there might be like a bit of slowness here and there. But overall, this is not a movie for everyone. I can understand why people wouldn't like it, but at the same time, there's enough good in it to give you that good, warm feeling that you need. And it's so essentially, if you're waiting on Superman giving us that hope again, you can watch this movie, because it gives us a very similar thing of like the hope of, but it's very grounded, very human, and not, a superhero movie, but it's a very grounded look of like beautiful human moments that we celebrate the beauty of humanity, the wonder that we can give each other in the darkest of times. But it's also a beautiful, enlightening movie that I feel like will stick with you way longer after you see it. And I think much like what Chuck thinks of himself, I think it is wonderful. I recommend it. I would probably give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's a very, very wonderful movie, and I feel like everyone needs to see it, because it's just that wonderful, and it showcases that Mike Flanagan just can keep doing his Stephen King adaptations, just keep pumping them out, and showcases that he doesn't need to only do horror. He can do other things. So I would highly recommend The Life of Chuck. It is a very, very beautiful movie, but might not be for everyone. So that is my thoughts on The Life of Chuck. But yeah, I don't know what else to say, but I really enjoyed it. But it has a lot of like cosmic awareness, very, very philosophical and existential. So, that might put off some people, but make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you've seen it, do you agree with me or do you disagree? After you see it this weekend, maybe you will disagree with me, but make sure to subscribe, click the notification bell, comment, do all the likes. So thank you. Yes, I would say quite the endorsement. I love the movie very much. In terms of Stephen King adaptations, I think The Monkey is a little bit better, and I can't wait for The Long Walk, which I got as a preview for this movie. So, but that's like definitely, this is the best of humanity. The Long Walk is like the worst of humanity. Two sides of that coin.
Yeah, that trailer's nuts.
So, yeah, I can't wait for that. But
yeah, I'm looking forward to it too.
Now we get into the proper DCU Daily, guys. So welcome to DCU Daily. Love to have you here. I know this is all what you really want to see, so but the first thing we have for you today, what do we have? Dan is still opening it up. It's okay, just gotta wait a second. There we go. Oh, hey, my favorite thing, anime. But first thing,
I feel like this is something along the lines like you would dig this. Like this is your
No,
vibe right here.
no,
No?
I have
Okay.
no interest. It's like a
But you were
pseudo.
all like you're all excited about like what is it like Predator fighting the samurai or whatever? Like I feel like this would be right
Yeah,
up
but
your
this
league.
just comes off as how do you do, fellow kids? We also like the anime. Please watch our stuff. So, it comes out like I heard Batman Ninja was not very good,
That's
and
hilarious.
the Yakuza, this just seems like very weird, awkward, and desperate.
Okay.
But I
I mean, it
mean
looks cool.
it did unveil its release date. Um, so it is going to be on, I believe, July 3rd. July 3rd, so a
Hooray.
day before a day before
July
4th
4th.
of July. Jesus Christ, I'm like Independence. I couldn't think of like 4th of July, Independence Day. I'm like, hang on. Because the thing is, July 3rd, the first thing I think of is my friend's birthday. So that was the only thing on my mind. And I was like, what's the day after?
What's that thing that matters to a lot of
What's the
people?
thing? Hey, my friend's birthday matters.
Listen, I didn't say it didn't.
I love my
Just saying.
friend, and he deserves a
Good,
good
great.
birthday. So shush. Anyway, and plus with how America's going, I don't know if Independence Day really
I
matters.
mean, yeah, we're not really going to be celebrating this year.
So like, but yeah, it's for all the people that care, all three of you. It's coming out July 3rd on Max.
3.
Cool. Great. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say about this. I mean, yeah.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Anyway, Penguin. So it's finally something that matters that I care about.
3.
So the Penguin and that thing I don't know anything about, the Trader is breaking down the top contenders for limited series reality competition Emmys. So
and I
this is
believe
very
the
exciting.
Traders did win this past Emmys. So again, very popular show.
And so yeah, I think it's I don't know if like the Penguin is actually gonna get it or really do it, but like I mean I would love for them to, like that would be very nice and wonderful, but I doubt it because there is it's just I don't know, it's just like the idea, like even something as highbrow as the Penguin, I just think I don't know. I like. I know it did win awards, but like Emmys, it seems like it's the biggest one, and it's technically hasn't been nominated yet. And even if it does get nominated, I don't think it'll win because it was there is that. I mean, you have other stuff like they talk about it here, like Adolescence is like the big one. Also,
Yeah.
hello, Cora Luna. I don't think we've seen you here before, but hello. Yes, I have heard nothing but great things about The Pit. My sister watched it, my loved it. My dad watched it, loved it. My mom couldn't get into it, but honestly, that might be on my list soon because
The Pit is
yeah,
pretty incredible. The Pit is great.
it's like ER, but like not a soap opera and way better.
The most realistic, accurate depiction of a medical drama that you'll ever see. It's essentially 24 in a season, so it's an entire shift broken down hour by hour.
Akira.
That's how they compose the
What are you
season.
talking about?
It's an entire, I believe it's a 12 or 15-hour shift, and you just follow these people through life in the ER, and it is really, really good. It's very graphic,
Yeah.
I will say, because again, it's a medical drama, and you see all the things and a lot more than you expected to see. But it's done so well and really, really sheds a light on what people in emergency rooms and in hospitals have to deal with on a daily basis, especially in a major metropolitan city. So I can't recommend it enough. It's excellent.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone in my life has said it's amazing, but I do hope the Penguin gets something, whether it's a nomination or an actual win, but I'm
Yeah.
not holding my breath. But
I think it'll get some type of acknowledgement at the very least. Yeah.
yeah. But enough with the fuck out of here, Dan. Vic deserved it.
Move along, Dan. Move
Vic
along.
deserved it. I'm kidding, of course.
Yeah.
But now we move on to our boy James Gunn, talking about his own movie again. But he apparently just saw the final version of Superman in 3D. And oh wow, just incredible to see. If you have a taste for 3D, this is a great way to see the movie. And apparently someone is using a Man of Steel gift to say no because they have no taste. So awesome. Like this, I don't really care about 3D. Like I will say that, but like why are we talking about Kiki's delivery service? What the fuck is going on with the chat? Anyway.
I don't know. I don't hate 3D, but I'm really not a fan. I certainly don't go seeking
Well, I know
it
you
out.
have motion sickness. So
I do have motion sickness really bad too. So it's all very dependent on the subject matter. But I'm also one of those people.
Superman in 3D.
But I'm also one of those people that like I'll see a film. And if I know it's available in 3D, I'll watch it.
I'm just gonna say this right now before we continue. Howl's Moving Castle is fucking overrated and one of the worst Hayao Miyazaki movies. There, I fucking said it. Anyway,
good for you, John.
Superman.
Good job. Anyway, back to DCU. So for me with 3D films, I'm one of those people that I'll watch a film, in normal form, normal version. And
the best anime is Ghost Stories dub, by the way. Anyway,
cool. If I catch some things in that I'll say, oh, I bet you that looked really good in 3D. Then I might go back and watch it in 3D.
Scenes have got to be.
I mean, even in what we've seen in the trailer, just those orange things flying at him, those ballasts or whatever they are, where he's saving the little girl. I bet you looks real pretty freaking nice in 3D. So again, I'm gonna see it. We're all gonna go see it, and then I might just turn right back around and see it in 3D.
Yeah,
you don't know.
Like I'm already seeing it for the early screening. I'm seeing it with my parents. And I might go see it in 3D if it's that good because honestly, yeah,
I mean,
like normally I'm not. Normally I don't really
angles
care.
alone, the angles, the layers, the perspective.
Oh,
God, I bet you it looks real nice in 3D. So
drop the skin. What skincare are you talking about?
She's
Liz
saying my
is talking
skin
about
looks
David
really
Corn
nice.
sweats.
It's Mary Kay, gang. It's Mary Kay. Let me know if you are interested. But yeah, Mary Kay for life. Changed my skin game. Anyway, yes. So did I already get my tickets, Steven? Yes, I already got my tickets. Yes, wash your face every morning and night and hydrate.
I just do it when I shower.
Hydrate, people, hydrate. Yeah, John looks good. Your skin is always very nice.
I don't know. I have I got some pimples
I mean, that's everybody. I've got them too. Everybody gets them.
And then I think I have like a lot on my neck. I have like one on the back of my neck.
Fact of life. So yeah, so 3D, I very well might check it out in 3D after I see it initially. But there you are.
Yeah. But here's a group shot of the Terrifics. I mean, the Justice Gang. I mean, honestly, it's so weird to see him metamorpho Anthony Kerrigan look normal, because this is the most that Anthony Kerrigan has looked like Anthony. I can see the face underneath the makeup. Yeah. Everything else, I'm like, is that Anthony Kerrigan? Because I can't tell. But this, I can kind of see his face a little bit. And looking good. Nathan Fillion with that shit-eating grin. Unfortunately, no bowl cut, which
he looks good though.
He
actually looks more like a ne'er-do-well in that one. He looks like he could be a villain in that one. So
I think but I remember I don't know if we have it listed, but I love how Nathan Fillion was the one that pushed for the bowl cut, because it was initially they had something that was just as goofy, but not the bowl cut. But Nathan Fillion was like, no, we need to have the bowl cut. And honestly, thanks for that, Nathan Fillion. We appreciate you. I mean, apparently you're still an asshole in real life, so unfortunate for that. But awesome for the bowl cut. It looks like he has a gold tooth, doesn't he?
It does look like he has a gold tooth, and he very well might.
It or like he has like a weird tooth. I don't know.
He's got a gold tooth.
Um, James, you made me scream at work. This is justice. But yeah, love to see it. The Hawk Girl mask still looks weird to me.
I agree.
Sorry.
I
Not
agree.
looking the best, but everything else looks fantastic. So like, hell yeah, like 100%. Lovely to see. But I mean, as we know, it's nanotechnology, not anything else. So we do know that.
I will say the one criticism I have already is that Lois Lane is doing too much in this film. Like there's a scene in the trailer where she's flying somebody's vessel, and I'm like, don't like that. Don't like that. Lois,
What, you
stay
hate
in your lane,
capable
baby.
women, Liz?
Stay in
Is
your
that what
lane.
you're saying?
No, I want people to stay in their lane. You're not a superhero. Don't be putting yourself in superhero type situations. I don't care for that. That's not. I've never liked things like that. It would be the same thing if it was like, Wonder Woman's boyfriend all of a sudden decides he's going to get in on the action. Like, no, son, girlfriend's
I mean,
got
he
it.
did in Wonder Woman.
But that's what I'm saying. But it was also different because he was in the army. Regardless, my point is she's already doing too much. I'm not a fan. I like my Lois Lane to lay back in the cut as she's supposed to.
But that's not Lois
That's all I'm
Lane,
gonna say.
though. That's not Lois
all I'm
Lane
gonna
as a
say.
character. I think you're thinking of Mary Jane Watson. She usually stays and just does nothing. So,
Yeah,
and
Mary
just gets
Jane too.
kidnapped.
Don't get in the fray, baby. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, moving along.
But yeah, another great TV spot. Like I love the idea of like my parents sent me here to serve, the people and to be a good man. That's my greatest strength. Like again, boom, just hitting it on the head. Motivate. What is your motivation? And it's a good motivation.
John, did you freeze? John froze. Oh no.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you now. There he is. Yay, he's back. Woohoo.
Okay. I guess my Wi-Fi kind of cut out. But I'm okay, guys. The kids are all right. But yeah, no, that's a great motivation. I think that's great to see. This TV spot was hella baller. Just the footage we've seen already, but still great. Love it. And
can't wait.
I got Clark with the Skibbity Riz haircut. Loving to see it. But got that broccoli Gen Z hair. Gotta go back to the fray. Like that's what I love about like Superman in like this case, because it's like even though he's like kind of the cool guy to most people, I think like he's still a dork. Like he's still like that, has that Clark Kent dorkiness even as Superman. Like he's still like kind of the cool guy who shoots laser beams from his eyes, but at the same time, like he says all that like that corny stuff. I hope, I don't think it'll happen, but I do hope that Perry White says at least once Great Caesar's ghost. I think that's just
cute. Yeah.
Amazing. And I want to see it at least once. I don't think it'll happen, but like a man can dream. I also love this image. Just Perry White in the background, just chomping on a cigar. Just, why am I fucking here?
So Enterprising in the chat did say that in some iterations, Lois Lane was a former pilot. So if that's the case,
I mean, she was a military brat.
Yeah. So if maybe she's a former pilot turned journalist, then that's all right with me. Then I will acquiesce.
Enterprise.
I will acquiesce.
Thank you for understanding my reference. I knew somebody would get it. Yes. What is its motivation? It's a rock monster. It doesn't have motivation.
I love it.
God damn it.
I love it.
I'm serious about the craft.
But, well, since we keep going off on tangents, you know that story about Alan Rickman watching Tim Allen in that very emotional scene in Galaxy Quest, which, by the way, if you haven't seen Galaxy Quest, please, it's such a wonderful, underappreciated film. He and Tim Allen didn't really get along because Alan Rickman is a seasoned actor, as we all knew, and
Tim Allen is Tim Allen.
And Tim Allen is Tim Allen. So when he had that really emotional scene at the end of Galaxy Quest, Alan Rickman was off to the side and commented to someone, "I think he's just discovered acting."
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah. It was like he went like Tim Allen couldn't handle it, and he like went back to his
Yeah,
trailer, and he's
yeah,
like, "My God, I think he just
really tore him up.
experienced acting."
Yeah, really tore him up. So,
I
you guys,
fucking love
please
Alan
watch that
Rickman.
film. That film is just so
Another
brilliant in so
one,
many
another
ways.
great thing from Galaxy Quest was apparently Tim Allen is a huge Alien fan. So he
Mm.
wanted Sigourney Weaver to sign all his Alien memorabilia, and he was like kept pushing, and he was kind of being annoying about it. So Sigourney Weaver finally relented, and she wrote on all of his stuff like "stolen by Tim Allen," signed to Sigourney Weaver, and he was pissed.
I love it. She's great. She's
Great
something
movie.
else.
Anyway, but yeah, loving to see it. Love me again. We got Ron Troop in the back, Cat Grant in the back, lovely. But also Danielle Brooks.
Danielle.
Honestly,
And don't she
like,
look good, gang? Look at you want to talk about
honestly, like,
skincare? She
I'm
looked
feeling
good in
things
that
right
tea,
now.
babe.
Like
Go ahead, Danielle. I love her.
I think I'm gonna save this for later because, like,
I love
goddamn,
this woman.
this is
I love her.
great. I know she like
Again, make this like part of our intro or something. The new intro.
Yeah.
Put this in there because good for you, Danielle. Go ahead, mama, with your shirt. She looked good.
Yeah, fuck
She
the
looked
bulge.
good.
Give me the super chest. Like, honestly, like, give me that.
Lord.
But
Oh, my
honestly,
goodness.
this is yeah, no, I'm not gonna deny
Everybody,
it. Are you kidding me?
everybody, calm down.
Yes, yes, I am aware that unfortunately life, which I think that's coming in August, which sad days, but like go watch it when you can. Um, um, but okay, well, you can like an actor and like not agree with their bullshit.
Yeah.
But
Or
you know,
they're
I like
feeling
Tim
about
Allen, but he's an
cocaine.
asshole. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like I like him as like an actor because I think he's funny and he has some good roles
Yeah.
to his name, and he's Buzz
And
Lightyear.
applause.
But like,
Yeah.
you know, he's an asshole. But anyway, but Danielle Brooks rocking it, loving to see it. But
I feel like this thing was dumb. I didn't like this
I
one.
mean,
but
yeah, I mean, I don't really
Property Brothers.
yeah, I just like can we just stop with the fucking Property Brothers? I'm so sick of these guys. Like, and the thing
I'm
is, I
not
watched
sick
a
of
lot
them.
of
I just don't. I feel like they don't need to be everywhere. But
they don't need to be everywhere. It's just like I think they showed up in what like they showed up in like Love Hurts and like one of them got killed or something. And it was
Yeah,
like, why? Okay.
I thought that was funny.
But like it's just like like I'm kind of sick of them. And the thing is, I like watching HGTV. I watch it a ton with my mom. So like, and I never watch Property Brothers. They always annoyed me. So, but yeah, this was kind of dumb. So let's move on a bit.
Next one.
Anyway,
this one was really cool. So cool.
This is 100% real, not CGI at all, not AI.
So awesome.
But yeah, this is really. I love the different like countries and
how everybody's getting
continents
involved.
and all that. So yeah, hell yeah. But I think this is really cool. I love they're really going in on the global marketing, and I really, really love and appreciate that. So yeah, awesome to see. Love to see it. Hope to see more countries represented. Whether not just here, but like in future days and all that. So yeah, but absolutely amazing. Next up, well, I mean, it is a country, but like parts of the US as well. We have the you know, the S in the sky, you know, showcasing you know, a lot of that. Look up, beautiful, love to see it. I don't really know what else to say, but like the stars
Super
look
cool.
cool.
No, it's really cool. They're listen, they're doing the damn thing with marketing, and I am very impressed by this campaign. They are pulling out all the stops. They are, and again, like you said, they're taking it international. They're going to other countries for these spots, and they're really making a pretty good argument for why people should go see this come July. So it's awesome.
Yeah. But you know, absolutely love it. But next up we have Jimmy Olsen being an awesome, yeah, maybe original show, but I think it's probably just CGI. But yeah, I did see this. This was a lot of fun. Just like Jimmy, like I wanted to see more Jimmy Olsen. We haven't gotten a good look at the Daily Planet, yes, but like, you know, I love the end where he's like, what's up with this? And he's like surrounded by 2 hot chicks, and he's like, that's nothing. We don't have to talk about that.
Yeah,
But
I
like,
love this actor too. He was in Righteous Gemstones, and I just
yes,
think
I
he's the
heard he was
perfect.
great in that.
He seems like a really cool dude. He was a great actor in that show. Fun fact: if you listen to my podcast, next week I interviewed one of his co-stars in the Righteous Gemstones on Try Not to
Danny
Curse.
McBride.
And I wish, but no, we do talk about Danny briefly. But anyway, so I feel like Jimmy Olsen is just the perfect next step for him. So this is going to be really cool. I might be looking forward to his performance the most out of this movie, to be perfectly fair. I really like him.
Yeah. But you know, I love the interactions, like the in-character interactions, and it's just like I love to see it. I love to
Yep.
see it.
Super
You
cute.
know, and it's just like, you know, it's just like I can't get enough of Jimmy Olsen. That's like the one thing I wanted. I'm glad we're getting it. I absolutely love it, and yeah, I'm so happy we're getting this. Like, even though it's just little bits here and there, and the interaction. Oh yeah, I love. And then also like how he was talking about Clark. Like, oh, I love Clark. He's the man. I love that. He's the man. I love that guy. He gives a little skip whenever he sees Lois Lane. Like, you know, it's just like I love how it's not like totally dweeby like Jimmy Olsen, like, you know, early like Jimmy Olsen, which isn't a bad thing. Like, I would love to see it, but I like how they're like kind of like modernizing it, but he's not, you know. But yeah, it's just like when I heard Skylar Gisondo was cast as Jimmy Olsen, I'm like, I don't think you could get a more perfect Jimmy Olsen. The only other person I could see do like a just as good Jimmy Olsen is probably like Nathan Kress. Like, I think he could have been like maybe like 10 years ago a really good Jimmy Olsen. But Skylar Gisondo, when I heard that, I'm like, oh, that's like, I can't think of like a more perfect casting than that. Yeah, I mean, I never watched Smallville, but like, I mean, we've always had good Jimmy Olsens, like, you know, Mark McClure in the original films. I heard the guy from Lois and Clark was really good. The guy who was in the terrible Dungeons and Dragons movie, Justin something or other. He was in Child's Play 3. I forget his name, but there's been many great Jimmy Olsens, but I think he's just going to add to the pantheon of them. And I've been talking about this way too much, so let's try to move on. I'm sorry, I just like Jimmy Olsen, and seeing Jimmy Olsen and not having him be a CIA agent that gets fucking shot in the head for no reason. So, you know, that's crazy.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Honestly, the only hot ones here are like for me are like Coleman Domingo and like Jonathan Bailey, in all honesty. Like, and it makes sense, Coleman Domingo.
You're gonna talk about my boy Chris
Happy
like
Pride.
that?
But I mean, Chris Evans, you know, he's good looking, but like I don't have any like there's no like, oh, I would like do that for him. No, I wouldn't do neither Pedro Pascal. I think it's just like we've seen so much Pedro Pascal. But I fucking love Coleman Domingo and Jonathan Bailey, you know. I haven't seen him in a ton. I just saw him in Wicked, so like that was it. And then so it's like, hell yeah, the hot nerds. Like I'm sorry to disappoint all the ladies watching. Yeah, nerds don't look like this. They look like this, and this is a 4 on a good day. So, you know, sorry gals and guys. But yeah.
Wait, did you just call yourself a 4, John?
Maybe like a 5 on a good day.
Absolutely
if I like shower and like
not.
trim my beard. Yeah. Nails. Are the nails but we're eating. Yeah, like I mean, I know everyone's gonna say, "Oh yeah," but Henry Cavill's fair. But like, dude is yoked and he's looking good. I think he looks. I mean, I think he looks better with the slight beard and like, you know, hair slicked back. But like, yeah, he's the best. Yeah, I get it.
Is he? Is he?
I mean, he's maybe the hottest, but like, who do you think is the hottest?
Dean Cain's all right. Tom, what's his last name? Worthington? Is that his
Tom
last name?
Welling.
Wellington. He was all right. The eyes, those eyes. Woo, babe. But still, I'm a Christopher gal. And quite frankly, still my favorite Superman before Christopher was George, was the
Yeah.
original
But
black
like,
and white
George had
TV
the
show.
dad bod. Which I
Yeah.
appreciate, not knocking the dad bod.
George was the everyman, you know. I dig George. I if you guys have never seen
He was,
the black and
'cause the
white
thing is,
Superman TV show, check it
I
out.
mean, the thing about George Reeves, what a lot of people don't know, I'm like kind of aware of the show, not like total. I haven't seen many episodes of it, but like
Mhm.
Christopher Reeve was the one who like really started the overly nerdy Clark Kent.
Yeah.
That's who he was in the comics, but like George Reeves was like cool. Like he
Yeah.
was like he wasn't a dweeb. He wasn't like, I mean, he wore the glasses and like
the best way I can describe that show, that iteration of Superman, is the original Dragnet TV show mixed with the original Batman TV show. Like, it was as serious as it was camp, but still like
yeah,
wholesome.
I
And
know.
I
I know the
love that
black and
show.
white seasons were darker than
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
colored seasons
Still
because
great though.
that had like
Still
a
great.
darker vibe to it. And then when it got into color, it became a little bit more campy and comic booky. I'm just saying, I remember when we were talking, like when I was hanging out with my friends and we were doing like a truth or dare kind of thing, and one of my best friends was ranking people like attractiveness. He's like, yeah, I think John's like a 4. And I'm like, no, I agree. I think I'm like a 4. So that's
Stop
I'm just
saying that. You are a dime piece, Jonathan.
no, I'm
Again, look
not,
at
but I
that
appreciate it.
skin, for goodness sakes. Y'all
I
better
mean, I
start
try. I
gassing
mean,
John up in the comments. Tell him he cute.
I mean,
Not
yeah.
you, John. I was referring to Henry Cavill.
Honestly, would have loved to see it. But yeah, Chris Reeves is so good. Yeah, I've heard great things about that. Who needs to fix his teeth?
Henry Cavill.
I mean, he's British. Like, I mean, that makes sense.
Girl, he's got all money in the world. He's making all kinds of deals. Like, you can't just straighten out that bottom set. Give me a break. That drives me nuts.
Again, he's British. It comes with the patronage.
No, there's no excuse. There's no excuse.
But you know, hot nerd summer. I'm hot, like heat hot. It's hot in my room right now, but like I don't know, you know. But
Quit it, John. We're not buying it, babe.
But I will say, can we go back to the Coleman Domingo picture like really quick? I just want to see that like one more time. Like that, like everyone says, like, oh, Pedro, that's Sterling K. Brown. Are you saying all black people look the same, Dan? Is that what you're saying? No, the first image.
Listen,
Dan,
Sterling K is, I mean,
Yes.
he is sterling
he is
by definition.
very attractive, but like, Dan, no, go to the first one. Because you're doing stupid shit, Dan. There we go.
I appreciate y'all, but I can't do with the funny teeth. It ain't cute. It ain't cute. It's distracting. Drives me nuts. I get so
but, like, I
distracted
know everyone's
by
saying like
fucked up
Pedro
teeth.
Pascal is daddy. Honestly, Coleman Domingo's daddy. Like,
Coleman Domingo is daddy, babes. Daddy.
So like, yeah. I mean, Chris Evans, I don't know why. He just like, I like him as a person, as an actor. He seems like a cool dude, but like, he's like, okay, I recognize that he's a very attractive man, but it's just like, I can't get into it. But you know, anyway, we're talking about this way too much. Let's try to move on. I just want to see Coleman Domingo one last time. But it's just, and it also helps with Coleman Domingo is the voice. That dude had like, I could listen to him read the phone book, like straight up.
100%.
Yeah. So
All
like, no. Really? Margot Robbie has work done? Next, you're going to tell me that, you know...
Listen, I know this is an antiquated opinion, but when you're making that kind of money, when you're working at that kind of high level, when you're that high profile, when you're supposed to be, you know, playing a superhero, you're supposed to be playing, you know, somebody who's supposed to be better than all of us. You got to look the part. I'm sorry. So yeah, I want you to have straight teeth. I want you to have good skin. I want you to have good hair. Sorry, that's how I feel. Like, if my teeth are better than Superman's, that's a fucking problem.
I don't have teeth better than
Sorry.
Superman.
Yours are still better than Henry Cavill's,
I have very
John.
small teeth.
Yours
Although I
are
did get
when
braces.
people's teeth are so bad that it's actually distracting. Y'all can go see a dentist for $500. Give me a break. Get you Invisalign, fix that shit. It's not hard. Anyway.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? But
I didn't say I
anyhow.
don't like Corn Sweat as Superman. I said I don't know anything about the man, and he looks different in every single shot, which I think is really interesting about him. But I didn't say I didn't like him as Superman. I haven't watched the film yet.
Obviously, we can't judge yet.
I'm not attracted to him. That's not my type that I go for. But again, so far from what I've seen, it seems
Okay,
like
let's
he's got
stop
better
like
teeth than Henry
objectifying
Cavill.
men for the time being.
Why?
And just
We objectify women all the time. I'm gonna go ahead.
Okay,
and say my
like,
piece,
but
John.
like,
I'm gonna say it.
I think we're going on a little bit too long.
Don't start, John. I'm gonna objectify you next.
I mean, you know, I think we're getting into like after dark levels. But we do have some comments from you guys. Do we have any comments? I actually don't know.
We should have some.
Calm down, folks. But anyway, first, JB1138. I know Matt Reeves was taken to court for potential plagiarism over the first Batman, and that case was thrown out. I believe this was in relation to the Superman court case, but it makes me wonder if he's trying to write a sequel with no references to previous Batman stories, maybe something completely original. There's no such thing as original anymore. There's no such thing.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Like, if that's the case, and he's having so much writers, like, you should pick the best comics and depths. Yeah, I mean, like, it's just like, or let someone else write it. Like, at this point, like, honestly, the Batman kind of mid. So, like, I would say just get someone else to write it, just direct it, and move on. But like, I feel like we're gonna get a duology, and then like that's it. They're like, bro, you're taking way too fucking long. Our Pats ain't even a young Batman anymore. Bro is middle aged right now. So like, let's move this crap along. I know that doesn't make sense. I'm just saying. Come on now. But so yes, JB, I think that's an interesting take to have. I don't think JB is in the chat right now, but yes. Oh my god, JB has a long comment. Holy shiznat. It is getting ridiculous. The Batman 2 is looking like it'll never get made. All of your points are valid. I know we keep hearing that Matt Reeves has personal issues. God dang, Dan, how long is this friggin' thing? Shit. But whatever that means, it really seems like he's creatively bankrupt with so much Batman source material out there. It shouldn't take years to write a sequel. I agree. I think it's just like at the same time, if he's going through a lot, then obviously he needs to work on stuff. But like, yes, but it's just like on the one hand, I was literally also writing a superhero script, and I also had major writer's block, and then my thing got canceled by the person I was kind of working for. So like, I get it, but it's just like at the same, and then they stole some of my ideas, so like that was fun. But so I get it, but like at the same time, I'm also a little bit forgivable. But like at the same time, if you're getting paid and you're writing a Batman movie and you're in one of the luckiest positions in Hollywood to be doing this, then I feel like need to take it more seriously. I understand that maybe he's going through a tough time. I know that there were a lot of rumors in terms of health of others around him or himself. So I just think that, but there is the idea where that only goes so far, and then you need to really kick it into gear because now it's getting a bit ridiculous.
Or take a step back completely, or recognize that you're not in the space to complete the project and hand it over to someone else. I mean, we had that in the case with Zack Snyder. He gave it to Joss Whedon. Granted, it didn't work out so well.
Well, he didn't do that willingly.
No, but I still think the Snyder cut is better than what we originally got. But hey, sometimes there are other things that are more important in life. So we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah. But damn, JB, leaving that long ass comment. But like, we still appreciate the comments, and it showcases that no matter how long it is, how long your comments are, we
We'll
will
read 'em.
still talk about them. But
Yep.
does the AMC uniform shirts include the trunks? No, they do
It does not.
It
It does not.
that would
But
be
they have
funny
started
though.
wearing the shirts in the theaters, and they look really good.
I know. I saw them the other day. However, I think it would be funny if a coworker chose to come in, even for a little bit, but I'm sure a boss would tell them, "Hey, don't do that." But like bought a pair of red underwear and then wore it on top of their pants. Just for
You
like
know
a
what?
gag.
I
Like
think they would get away with it. I think it'd be
don't
okay.
actually
We'll
like
see.
do that, but like just like for a quick gag of like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then they just see that. That would be funny. But like obviously don't walk around like that. Don't scare the children.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think most definitely they do not include the trunks, but we still we still love the uniforms and what AMC is doing. So yeah, we love to see it, and thank you very much for your comment. Next comment: White creature with Lex is Mr. Handsome, a being created by him, but could be more than meets the eye later on. Nice Transformers reference. But yeah, I got it confused with the Peacemaker one. That was my bad. But it could be, I think, yeah, if I were to say it's probably some type, I think there's a lot of cloning in this. I feel like Hammer, Bravia, Ultraman, other characters, there's going to be a lot of cloning. So and that's who you know, that's who Nick Holt was talking about in his interview, that his son came to set and called this ugly alien Mr. Handsome. He's like, "That's my favorite character." And then he's like, "You're my second favorite character, Dad. But Mr. Handsome's my favorite." He was like, he kept going on and on about it. So that was cute. But like, I don't know what it will be. Yeah, he looks naked, but like,
he is.
I thought it was metamorpho, like he was like doing an element thing and his body went completely like white, but I guess it's like a completely different creature. I mean, we have that confirmation now. So I assume it's a clone. Maybe it's someone who just works for him. Maybe it's a being that becomes Otis, because we haven't seen him at all during any of these previews. Otis is in the movie. Like we saw him in the group photo way early on. So Otis is in it. We just have to see if they will actually, utilize him, but like either he got cut or something else happened. I don't think we ever put it on the show.
We should, because it's cute.
There she is.
Puppers.
I was trying to like position her properly. That's why my hand is in the shot. But like I was trying to position her properly. But there she is. She's camera shy, so she didn't want to show her face. But there she is with her super dog scarf. I had to take her Mets one off and put that one on for a little bit. But yeah, very cute. I'll try to get one of her face, but she's camera shy, aka she's a bitchy princess, but I love her anyway. But yeah, she's I don't think it's alien, but like maybe he created Otis. Maybe that could be a funny running gag where he like just kills an Otis, but like then he brings another one in. Like it's just an ongoing like clone of Otis. He's like, "Oh, I'm fucking sick of this guy," and then just throws him against the wall, and like he brings another one out of stasis. That could be funny. But George Moore, I will add it to the list. George Moore 41. I don't think I gave an exact figure, but I will say 1.5 billion. You and TC24 gave the highest numbers actually at 1.5 billion dollars. You think you'll think you'll get halfway there, but not quite to 2 billion. Well, not halfway, but the 500 million part. But you know what I mean.
Right. We got it.
But yeah, George, I'm putting you on the list. I need to make a new list, but this is very look how like there's like arrows and like
Very
all this
thorough.
other
Good
shit.
job.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there, but thank you for again, if any of you want to showcase your predictions on how much money that Superman will make, that would be funny. Not gonna lie, that would be funny. God, I'm sorry, I'm really sweaty right now. But Ron is in the chat. Hey, Ron, you flirting again, buddy? Apparently, I'm flirting with the whole chat because they like love me for some reason and think I'm attractive. I don't get it.
John,
But
we
like,
haven't seen the smolder in a while. That's all I'm gonna say.
maybe there's a reason for that. Anyway, let's not get this show demonetized. Anyway, it's just like just gotta no, not this time. Well, I believe it. Anyway, confidence.
There you are.
But with or without glasses?
Both are fine. I think the glasses are. There you are. There it is.
It's good you're getting only my face because my back is soaking right now. It's just like I am in a leather chair. It's really hot in my room. My PC is pumping right now, so you should see it. Yeah, Ron, let's go. I got mine for the Prime. I got mine for July 11th, and I got mine for July 25th. Fantastic Four. But I got all three. Very exciting. Hell yeah. So now we move on. Again, let's keep this. Let's try to get it under 2 hours here. That would be nice. But thanks for watching DCU Daily. Not the end, though. Don't worry. Eat your heart out, Kratos. Yes, boy. Anyway, but thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for watching DCU Daily. Not over yet. Don't click away just yet. We do have a couple things previewing for next week, but make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe, make sure to click the notification bell, comment about how I'm a 10. I don't know, but yeah, whatever you want to do. But thank you. Today we look ahead. Get rid of the banner so we can see the Dan, get rid of the banner. Pixar's next film, which looks like a bit derivative of Nick Castle's The Last Starfighter, but they're doing interesting things with it. We are going to be reviewing that. We're going to be talking about it. I'm not sure how good it will be, but I'm not going to be watching
I
have no
interest,
myself. But
I'm really looking forward
Liz,
to it.
what are
I
your
think
thoughts on it
Elio
since you're
looks
seeing it?
super cute. I like the premise. I like the idea. I was on the fence when I first saw the poster, the movie poster. I was like, oh, okay, another one. It's gonna be boring, whatever. But then I saw the trailer, and man, oh man, the interaction between Elio and his little alien friend, whose name escapes me at the moment, all those couple one-liners that were in the trailer. I think it looks absolutely delightful, and I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I think I just I'm picky about Pixar now. Like
That's
ever since they scorned me with what was it? Lightyear. I'm just like kind of iffy,
Yeah.
God, Lightyear was bad.
Wasn't the worst, but yeah.
It wasn't the worst thing ever, but it's just like after a while.
It also didn't really need to be made.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, this is the movie Andy saw back in the 90s. No, he didn't.
But that cat was
No, he
cute as
didn't.
shit, though. I love Boots. Boots was the best. I have a little Boots. He's so cute.
Dora the Explorer?
No, and the cat in Lightyear.
No, I know. I just like.
What was his name? Boots?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Now I gotta look.
But anyway, Zoe Saldana looking fine as always, and
I mean,
but
yeah, girl.
I just sorry, no excitement for this. We haven't gotten any tomato meter stuff yet.
His
but
name was Socks.
Boots, socks. It was close. It's not like you said shirt. At least the socks go in the boots. Like it works. But yeah, it could be a fun time. That dude's beard is rocking.
Hey now.
That's way better than mine. Is kind of scraggly. I need to
go ahead, America Ferrera.
I need to oil it and bomb it a little bit better next time. But yeah. Well, she's a princess more in a derogatory point of view rather than a compliment, but like it's just because she's a fucking spoiled brat and kind of a bitch, and sometimes I hate her, but also I love her. And I know everyone's like, oh my god, James Gunn doesn't understand what a dog is. A dog would never do that. I'm like, have you met small dogs?
For real.
Like, come on. But I like her better in green or blue. Yeah. But I think I think this, could be fun, but I have no interest. But I'm happy people are, excited for it. We pretty much got like no advertisement for the longest time, so I was like, that's kind of not great. But people are getting more and more excited. And I will say, Dolby posters always hit. So I will say this is a great poster. So good for them. But yeah, we do have another movie to talk about. The one I care about more is 28 years later. Hell yeah. Super excited to see this. I was kind of like iffy on it, like, 28 years later, Danny Boyle's coming back, Alex Garland's coming back. I'm not sure if this is going to work. Usually sequels that come out way later after the previous one usually don't work. Everyone wanted 28 months later, but no, they skipped that. Straight went to 28 years later. And then that first trailer dropped. I'm like, yep, I'm hooked. I'm done. That is one of the best trailers we have ever gotten for a movie ever. I'm stoked for that. I'm stoked for the next movie with the Bone Temple. I hope the third movie gets greenlit and the funding they need, because that would be amazing. Best trailer of the year. It's up. I would say I would say so. Yeah. That's the best trailer we've gotten for any movie ever in a long time. That is like Alien levels of trailer. Like Alien is the best trailer ever in the history of cinema. Like easily. That is the best trailer ever. So this is like, honestly, I would say this is the second best trailer of all time. Maybe. Yeah, I need to be or cover myself in mud and just be like, oh, like Arnold in the first movie. But it's got a stacked cast. Boyle came back, Garland came back. It's you got Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jodie Comer, Ray Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, brilliant cast. Wow, that's a great post. That is a fucking baller. But that is like a 2000s poster, but like in the best possible way. Like you got the scope. That's an amazing poster. Honestly, that might be the best poster we've gotten. Apparently Ray Fiennes is not showing up until the very end. Well, yeah, because he's the Bone Temple guy. So like he's probably going to be featured more in the second because he's in the Bone Temple. And the 28 years later, the Bone Temple is going to be the next movie. So I imagine he probably has a bigger role in the sequel.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's fine. Like, honestly, like Ray, like you're acting like any Ray Fiennes is bad. Like it's Ray Fiennes. Dude is exemplary. Should have gotten the Oscar. But Conclave should have also gotten the Oscar. I mean, they predicted the future like in just a year. Just saying.
Heaven forbid they watch the movies that are nominated. What they vote?
But yeah, let's give it to like the Cinderella sex worker story. Yeah, sure. That's totally best picture worthy. Anyway, but I'm also very curious about Alfie Williams. We've seen him a bunch as I assume Aaron Taylor Johnson's son, and also your boy Jack O'Connell is in it. So, so I mean, he's as a vampire now against zombies. So let's hope he keeps that train going in terms of horror movies for this year. But yeah, I don't think Aaron Taylor Johnson's going to be the next Bond. I hope so, but like I don't think so. And plus, Amazon is going to ruin him anyway, so it's fine. I'm just going to stick with the guy who played Dexter Morgan in Original Sin in the game because I can't wait for the game. But that seems to be it, guys. Well, that's all done. We're all done. We're all done for the week. Now we can enter the weekend. I know Steven Ortega is going to miss us very much. But Steven Ortega actually, speaking of, asked you something, Liz. I don't know if you answered him.
I did answer. No, as I've said before on the show, I have not seen any of the previous films. I want to. I'm planning to try to get to them before I see this one, because this one has me really, really intrigued. But we'll see. There's not enough hours in the day, gang. That's why I play Lotto. One of these days, I can quit my full-time job and just commit to getting to that endless list of content. We'll see.
Yeah. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and comment, subscribe, and click the bell. Thank you for the compliments. Like, it definitely boosted my confidence a little bit. But I know we're gonna miss you too, Steven. We're gonna miss all the new people because, like, guys, you keep subscribing. Thank you so much for I think Dan, didn't you say we got like 4 new subscribers during the stream yesterday?
Ooh,
so
thanks, guys.
Thank you guys for subscribing. We appreciate you. Yeah, so Enterprising, Elite Easy, Ron. I'm not gonna say everybody, but Monique,
Hosea, Figure Drawing,
Cora Luna
Hugo
Soleil.
Millie.
I don't think I've seen you before, so hello there, welcome if you have not shown up.
Be
But
Positive.
yeah, this is, love to see if Fiona showed up. Thank you, even though you're in your awkward Airbnb situation. Thank you for dropping by anyway. But yeah, I'm not going to name every single person, but thank you all for watching. This is very wonderful. This is great, and we love you, all of you, and we will see you back Monday. But for now, until then, look up.